What is up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Plant Movement Podcast. Guys, you know we want to bring nothing but value. How are you guys doing? I know you guys are busy. You have to be busy. If not, you got to create the busy for yourself. One thing we do not want you guys to forget, how important it is to get ready for the busiest season in the wholesale plant community, which is springtime, March, April, May. There's a lot of things that I know you guys are tackling, but preparing for what is up and coming is how you win. You win big. That's what we're going to be talking about on today's episode. There's so much that goes into preparation for spring, and we want to make sure that you guys are ready to hit it out of the park and make things really happen for you, really get the ball rolling this spring. I feel like this spring's going to be stronger than last. Eddie had some questions for me. I'm going to give you guys some of the questions so you can see what we're going to be talking about on this episode. What are the key benefits for preparing early for spring in the wholesale nursery industry? How does early preparation for spring contribute to increased sales and customer satisfaction for garden centers? What are some practical strategies for nurseries to ensure that they are ready for the surge in demand during the spring season? What is the importance of inventory management? How does spring affect profitability and customer retention? How does being proactive in preparing for spring enable landscapers to offer better services to their clients? What role does marketing play in promoting readiness for spring in the wholesale nursery and garden center industry? Are there any technological advances or tools available that can assist nurseries, garden centers, and landscapers in streamlining their spring preparations? Guys, what we want you to do is win. It's that simple. And we're going to give you some key facts, some key things to take away and implement them into what you guys got going on. All right, don't forget we are a call, text, or DM away. You can reach us on theplantmovement.com. We're here for any guidance. All right, guys, let's go. Spring's already here, almost mid-February. Before we jump into the episode, we just want to let you know that the audio is not 100%. We had some technical difficulties that we tried to figure out, but we couldn't, but we rocked it anyway like that. There's a lot of value. We didn't want to redo the episode. We wanted to give you it raw, exactly how it is, because we felt like it's powerful and it has a lot of value. With that said, guys, enjoy the episode.
Are you ready to grow? The Plant Movement with Willie Rodriguez of A's Ornamental Nursery in sunny South Florida is the podcast for those in the nursery business. Garden centers, landscapers, power growers, and plant enthusiasts. Willie is a passionate leader in the plant movement and has helped others grow their business into multi-million-dollar companies. This show will save you time, money, and headaches through top-notch education and by connecting you to experts in the industry. Let's grow. Here's your host, Willie Rodriguez.
Guys, welcome to another episode of the Plant Movement Podcast. Your host, Willie Rodriguez here. We have Eddie Gonzalez with me.
What's up, what's up?
Woo! We're getting for war out here, baby. Getting ready for war. Oh. Guys, there's so much to talk about, but I'm pressed for time. I have a bunch of things going on, so we're going to jump in. Today's episode, we're going to be talking about the market. The market is crazy, guys, and for everyone that's in need of product, of plants, whether you're a landscaper, whether you're a broker, whether you're a nursery, you're a garden center, whatever you do that you fall in, you're a designer, you're whatever you are, get ready, guys. I really, really, truly believe that the name of the game is preparation.
Sir.
We are in the beginning of February, guys. So if you are not prepping, you will be left behind because there's a war going on for the product, and I see it already. If you look at January's been rolling. February's rolling. These are months that are normally dead, and it's moving. There's a lot of stuff. It's weird. There's a lot of stuff going around the world. A lot of negative stuff, right? But I love to hone in on what we're doing and stay focused because that's how you win. Those are all distractions. Mm-hmm. So it's like, know about it, prepare for it, great. But at the end of the day, we got to keep rolling, right?
You got it.
So we're going to be talking about a bunch of things today.
Yeah.
And Eddie has some questions written down for me. Guys, just backtrack real quick. I was featured on an episode that Eddie was able to set that up for me called Making an Impact. That if you guys have not watched that video and you want to see what it really, really takes to really win, because a lot of people have a misconception of that you want to level up, you jump into a business, I'm going to open my business, I'm going to be a millionaire tomorrow. It's far from that, guys. There's a lot more learning on the life side on the lifestyle side and learning who you are, building yourself up. There's so much more that goes into
even being able to create $1 million, especially if you're starting at zero.
Yeah, all the steps. Yeah, people don't know. You know, it's a lot that goes behind it.
It's a lot
before you get to where you ultimately are.
It's a lot about development in my perspective of it, and you gotta learn all those forms of developing who you can be to actually attract $1 million your way, because that's what making $1 million is. It's getting it from, it's not from thin air, it's from somebody to you to then make a difference with it and make an impact. So guys, I encourage you guys to watch. It's called Making an Impact. If you go on Instagram, you can go to the Linktree, the Plant Movement Podcast, Linktree, go to the bottom, features is right there, boom, you can watch it, let us know what you think about it. Guys, I love you and I want nothing but the best for everyone in this industry. Even if you're not in this industry and listening to it, we want nothing but the best for you guys. We want to see everybody grow. We want this industry to be strong. It's a dying breed. We're a dying breed, but not no more. We're going to bring this back.
There you go.
We're going to bring fire. So let's jump right in. You want to start with the questions? You want me to start with marketing?
I can start with a good one.
All right, go.
Hello guys, my name is Eddie, co-founder, producer of the Plant Movement, and I'm going to hit Willie with a few questions.
Let's do it, baby.
Alright, so today's episode is going to consist of early preparation for your businesses. Doesn't matter what business you're in the green industry. It could be a landscaper, garden center, wholesale plant nursery. So let's just start with that, the wholesale plant nursery.
Go.
What are some of the key benefits for preparing early in spring?
Okay, so there's a lot of different ways I can take it, but when it comes to a nursery, I'm going to go through every category. Mm-hmm. So when it goes to a nursery, the benefit of it is the benefit of preparing, right? That was the question.
Well, let me reword it here. What are the key benefits of preparing early for spring in the wholesale nursery industry?
Okay, so for a nursery, it starts way before. So if you're a plant grower, it obviously starts way before. You got to prepare pretty much a year in advance if you're starting with liners, or if you're ordering liners. You guys that have, you guys grow liners, we need you guys. So it starts with that, being prepared and knowing how long it takes to grow whatever it is that you're trying to grow. For you guys that grow for the Canadian markets and the chain stores and stuff like that, you guys have it down packed. But for the guys that are trying to learn on how to be prepared for springtime, which is March, April, and May of every single year of our lives, it starts way before. You gotta get the baby, you gotta step it up. If you're doing 3 gallons, 7 gallons, whatever it is that you're doing, stuff that's annual, stuff that's flowering, it starts months, if not a year in advance, depending on what you're doing, maybe even longer. That way you can be prepared and have things available, know what moves during spring, and that way you can have items for spring if that's what you're trying to do, which are normally flowering items, hibiscus, Tigollemia, mandevilla, Kimberleys, there's a million things, Boston ferns, baskets, there's a million things that you can do, but it's preparing on that end, having that change. So if you missed it this year, you already know next year you're going to be prepared. And we can help you on that, on how to hit those targets, when, and all that stuff. You just jump on.
It's theplantmovement.com.
Oh yeah, theplantmovement.com. So like that. So broker and landscaper, this guys, really listen to what I'm going to tell you, because this is something.
But before you get into that, so you as a wholesale nursery with Hayes, when are you already starting to begin to prepare for spring?
So for me, it's different because we don't grow anything flowering for spring. Okay, so us ourselves, we don't do that because that market is limiting us to selling only 3 months a year, and I need to sell 12 months a year. Okay. So
your mindset going into spring for, like, let's say the following year. Okay, spring is coming up, and it's going to be a busy time. Mm-hmm. What is the first thing that comes to mind just in preparation? Like, it's coming to the end of the year, and you're like, okay, I got to start getting ready for spring. What is the key thing that comes to mind when you're thinking about spring for the following year?
All of our clients.
Okay.
All of our clients, especially more of the day ones, or what you can call day ones, people that are faithful and loyal, that they actually value us as an asset and a team, part of their team. We're developing together, we're growing together. Those are the guys that I think only on them. Okay. It's not so much about us. It's what we have to do to come through for them, to have them shine. And that's what it basically is.
Okay. And what aspect? Like,
in the aspect of, our job,
like having
our job
ready for them. Like,
so it's preparing items that they're gonna need for upcoming installs, or a garden center, what they're gonna need for the next few months to ride out spring, getting all that stuff, getting those lists, and then tagging off those items, which is not something that nurseries like to do. Nurseries like to flip product as quick as possible. They benefit from selling something that's not even completely rooted, which we're already seeing that today. But, our model's a little bit different. Ours is more of the relationship and building a bond that lasts a lifetime and actually allowing someone to grow.
Okay.
And the only way you can do that is if you're looking out for someone else and not yourself, it's different. Most nurseries don't do all the different things that we do here at Ace. Ace has turned into a whole different animal of really coming through in whatever it takes. So there is product that's being held.
Okay.
There's someone listening like, bro, I'm not gonna hold no product for nobody.
Right.
Or I can sell it to the Texas market. I can sell it for $2 more. Like, I get all that, and that's great. But our mindset is a little bit different. It's definitely worked on building bonds and giving landscapers that form of that sense of, man, they got our back. Yeah, they got our back. I'm gonna be able to come through on all these jobs. Like today, I was talking to a guy. He landed 3 massive jobs. One of them is in 3 months, another one's in 6 months, and the other one starts in 8 months. So the 8-month one, I'm not worried about. I'm more worried about the 3-month one, and then we jump to the 6-month. But think about all the preparation that goes into that. You guys see all these beautiful landscapings all over the place. How do you think that starts? And then for a landscaper, you guys that are landscapers that are listening, it's like, man, how am I going to land? And these are massive jobs, guys. It's like 1.5 mil all the product, like all the landscapings as a whole. These 3 jobs only. And we're talking about a 4th one today. How do you prepare for something like that? Being a landscaper, not having all the funds. You got a deposit, but great, that only goes so far. How can you really get everything you need, have nurseries hold it for 3 months? People don't do that. Mm-hmm. You got to have trust built. You got to have so many different things in place, but that's where we come into play. We're your team. So now with jumping on board, you get land, you get all the connections, you get the reputation, you get the handshakes, us going, doing, buying, whatever's handshake, dun, 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 and now we're making things happen on the back end that allows you to shine 3 months from now with all the product fire, gorgeous, and it stands out. So that's what we do at A. A little bit different, guys. But jumping into that same question for the next categories, which is landscapers, because I want to touch on all of them for you guys, because I don't know who you guys are and who's listening.
So this next question kind of goes with that too.
Okay, go.
So maybe you would want to hear this, maybe you could explain it.
Okay, go.
So it says, how does early preparation for spring contribute to increased sales and customer satisfaction for garden centers?
Yeah, so there we go. Yeah, it's on the same alley.
Exactly.
So, guys, you have a garden center. You go and you buy product as you need it. You buy blocks of 100, you buy 500 of one item, whatever it is, and then you wait to have 20, 30 left, and then you're calling around and you're getting it from your supplier, from whoever that has it, yada, yada, yada. You need a warrior mindset. For this spring, I don't care what is going on around the world. I don't care where interest rates are. I don't care about the housing market. I don't care about none of that. You need to shut all that off, and you need to listen to your business. Listen to the industry and what it's telling you to do. You need to prepare. So if you're a garden center, you need to start shopping. You need to go shopping. Get the Macy's credit card and start shopping. Because if you do not do the homework now, you will not ace the final. I promise you. You're going to come up short. The new word that is being spread around is the word no. No, I don't have this. No, I don't have that. That's not a situation you want to be in when your nursery's running out of product. And now you're limited to where you can buy stuff. You're buying stuff that's not rooted. Your customers come. It takes 30 people to call, show up, or you send a picture to be able to sell plants. That's not what you want. Thinking ahead is the name of the game. Landscapers, thinking ahead is the name of the game. Landscapers that I talk to, that I coach, that I mentor, and all that stuff, that if you guys are looking for any of that, you can jump on plantmovement.com. I tell them, guys, you're making money. Awesome. What's next for you? What do you want to do? All this, that, whatever. I always tell them, I try to figure out problems, solutions for their problems, and now that they have some money put away to do so, it's time to think on what you can do to save in the future and also invest for the future. So one thing I love to tell the landscapers that we supply that are further up north, that maybe they're smaller landscapers. We're doing two different landscape jobs as one delivery to cut the delivery costs and stuff, is looking to getting a piece of real estate, either purchased or rented, whatever you can do with your budget, and set that up as a holding area. That right there is a huge game changer. I'm splitting game with you guys. It's a huge game changer when it comes to now what you can do. One, you're saving money. Two, if you have your trucks in a storage unit, you get it out of there. You can set up a trailer for someone to live there if it's permitted, as security purposes. and now you're able to just get this product. So imagine you're a landscaper now, and you are in the state of mind where you're like, man, I got this big job, it starts in 2 months, but I don't really have the funds, or maybe I do have the funds, maybe I can max out my credit cards, I can get it, that way I have the inventory there and ready, available. You need a place to put it, or you need connections with a nursery or someone that can actually do that for you, either or. But it's preparing. If you are not preparing today for what you got coming up, you're gonna be left short with small product. And if you're a landscaper listening, and your install at the end, or you're filming a video to post on social media, and it's all small little plants, you tell me if the customer's gonna be happy when they walk outside and they paid $8,000 for a little baby stuck in the ground, then all you see is mulch or rock or whatever you put on the, on the ground. Think outside the box. You have to really prepare. And I promise you guys, you might not, let's say, make what you wanted to make, but you can't be after the money if you're looking to shine and make a difference, because to go get the bigger fish, you have to be able to invest into what that is and manifest that for your life.
That's great.
Same thing with the garden center, same thing with the broker. If you're a broker and you're gonna wait for you to have an order, if you see a shortage on a product and you sell 500 at this one nursery, go, make a ballsy move. Do something you haven't done. Go and try to make it happen. If you know the item's hot, you know it's gonna go, don't hesitate. Don't hesitate. Become a fearless investor, and this is part of it.
Yeah. So my next question kind of had a lot to do with what you already touched on. It was what are some practical strategies for nurseries to ensure that they are ready for the surge in demand during the spring season?
Okay, so for nurseries, it's time management, communications. Okay, so time management means that don't take on more than you can chew, because then you're going to upset clients, they're going to go somewhere else.
And is that within what? Like in booking?
Booking. So let's say you get a flood of 10 orders, and you're not used to that, you're used to 3 orders, and now you have 10 people. Make sure you have the inventory. Right. Make sure you have the manpower. Make sure you can pull it off. Make sure if you have 3 trucks there to pick up, try not to have all 3 at the same time. Try to coordinate. It goes back to communications with who it is. Be real, guys. What works in this industry is real. On Instagram, I post small little plants, and it's okay. Right? It's okay, because I'm telling the truth of what is available. I'm not trying to lie to you with a picture of one out of the whole block that's beautiful, and then you go to pick it up, or it gets delivered, and nothing looks like it but the one plant that I took the picture of, and I put it in the back of the truck so they see it first. Trust me, guys. That doesn't get you very far. It'll get you to a dead-end road. So be truthful. Communicate with your clients. Tell them, hey, don't come at 1, come at 3. It is what it is. It's better you do that, or you tell them, hey, I don't have 500, I only have 300. Be real, be honest, because that's what good people, the people that you're after as clients, that's what they're after. They're after honesty, people that communicate, people that know what's going on. And so don't double book, don't overbook, don't oversell, and just be real. Know your inventory, know how to answer the phone. This is wartime, baby.
Yeah, with that, how important is inventory management? During the spring season.
100%. Like, inventory management is very, very important. It goes back to what I just said.
Exactly.
If you don't know what you have, you don't know what's available, how are you going to sell it? How are you going to sell it honestly, or not upset customers? Because you think about it. You're a nursery, and a landscaper calls you, and he needs a 500 of this one item, and then you end up selling it to one of your other team members. Let's say you have multiple salespeople, they sell it. And now you got to call that landscaper back 2 days later, 3 days later. Or maybe you don't call them at all. Maybe your communication skills are horrible. You don't call them at all. They show up, and now they don't have the product there. That one puts the landscaper in a bind, right? That guy's never going to deal with you again. 100%. You lost that opportunity. Spring season in the green industry has changed over time. We've seen this rush start about 4 years ago. And it hasn't changed since. We've seen the market drop and shift and stuff like that, but it's been weird for the past 5 years, but it's been on the up and up. That, I can tell you that God has his hands over this industry, because it's been on the up and up, regardless of what's going on around the world. And I really feel that it's work. I just finished talking to a customer right now. I told them in March, nothing's going to be available. Watch. So I need to know everything you need for April and May. That way you can hit grand slams. And that's all part of making a garden center stand out. If you're a garden center, you are a reflection of who you have on your team. And it's not just your team that's on payroll. It's also the team of the people you rely on as suppliers. So level
goes with
ups.
everybody.
That goes with everything.
Yeah, your team,
But it's not just your team at home.
Mm-hmm.
It's the team, the people that you rely on.
Yeah.
So it's the rock guy.
Right.
The rock guy's going to be in demand. Look, we had Nova Hardscapes on here. That if for you guys that are garden centers listening or landscapers that haven't reached out, maybe you're missing opportunities.
Yeah.
Listen, think. The demand is it's going to be crazy, in my opinion. That's my hypeness for today, because we're living it. And we're already preparing. We're preparing multiple people's orders for the next multitude of months to have them shine, to have them stand out. So I know it.
And you stated something earlier, but just going back to it, how does being proactive and preparing for spring enable landscapers to offer better services to their clients?
Yeah, you have that confidence, man. There's nothing like having confidence. There's nothing like it. And one of the ways of having that is knowing that you are going to be able to shine when that truck shows up and starts unloading plants,
right.
or that truck shows up with that rock, that special rock that no one else has.
Right.
That you got your hands on because you did the homework, you saved some money, you put a deposit, you made it happen.
Exactly.
And it's not easy.
Yeah.
The things we're talking about is not easy. It's not like you flick a finger and everything's there.
Yeah.
It's a lot that goes into it, guys. But that's what it is being an entrepreneur.
And you said it earlier too, is if you could find a nursery that could go ahead and you throw a deposit or do whatever you have to do to get your product started, at least when the job comes, if you have upcoming jobs in a few months or whatever it is and they're big projects, getting those plants locked in ahead of time, so when the time comes that you need them and they're going to be full, because right now if everything's going to go crazy, spring is a blast and everybody's buying up everything, what kind of plant do you think you're going to receive when it comes to your time to install the plants that you need?
One, I want to get into why this is happening, so you guys have a better understanding, and then what markets it's actually happening in. But first I want to jump into, you want to get ready for spring, you're a grower, you don't know what to do, or you're not there yet, or you're having trouble, or your product's not right, or whatever that is. We created something called the Nursery Growers. And guys, everything that we grow and we touch from here on out is going to be for the entire industry to benefit everybody. It is not for us to fill up our pockets. It is for you guys to be able to shine. That's what we want. We need more growers. Why is there not? There's a shortage of inventory. Why? Because people haven't been able to either put money back in, or they're holding back. They're not, aggressive investors when it comes to investing into a product. They have doubts. They don't have the connections. There's a lot of reasons why. But we need more growers, 100%. Okay, and then out here where we're at in the capital of the motherland of tropical plants, real estate's being bought up, private equity firms, investors, people from other states are coming and doing things, and things are shifting. Okay, they're trying to change the zoning here in the Redlands so people can sell. Right now it's zoned for 5-acre lots with a house, but they're trying to change everything. So what does that do? It booms the dollar amount of the land, and then allows for other people to come in with bigger dreams and bigger visions than what agriculture does, because agriculture is looked down upon, right? Dirty boots, like what we just posted now on IG. We are a staple, we're a statement, and plants at the end of the day is for the upper middle class, and up, end consumers of product. I'm not talking about you guys that ship in boxes, someone buying a plant for $19.99. That's a different market. I'm talking about volume of doing a multitude of items and moving all this stuff, and where it ends up, most of it ends up in landscapings, at people's homes, at commercial real estate properties, parks, stuff like that, county projects, Universal Studios, Disney, all these big things. So what does that touch, guys? Think about it. It touches that upper middle class, high class market. So we created the Nursery Growers, and we did it because for me, it took so long to be able to have enough money to hire somebody to be able to do that for us. It was more like on our plate. And in order to grow, you have to get things off of your plate so you can go after what you need to do, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You need to get away from things. If the phone is blowing up and you're tied to it, it doesn't allow you to have a conversation with a customer. You have to learn to grow and let things go. So it came to the point where it's like, man, there's a shortage of inventory, there's a shortage of quality, there's a shortage of people knowing what they need to do. Like, yeah, the plants are there, but I can't get them. They don't look good. So there's a lot of stuff that went into it. We're like, man, how can we get a grower that costs a lot of money, $125, $125K they start at? What is it? How can we get this in everybody's nursery? for a fraction of the price. And then as we started digging, we started realizing that a lot of nurseries are complying with the laws on what you're supposed to have. You know, the posters you're supposed to have, the classes you're supposed to give to your employees, the testing of the masks they're supposed to have, what pesticides do. And we unraveled this whole thing of, wow, this is like awesome for an attorney to come in here and sue everybody out here and become millionaires.
It's just to be compliant as a business.
As a business, right, in this industry, because you're dealing with chemicals that can cause cancer and they can do so many different things.
Right.
And it's like, wow, it opened up our eyes to so much more than what we thought, which is what happens when you start digging. And then the intention is to better everybody. So we created it, guys. It's live. Go to thenurserygrowers.com and check it out. Eddie's been working really hard on the website. It came out killer. And everything's explained there. And it's easy as clicking a few buttons. Read stuff, click a button. You're going to get a phone call. You're going to have your dedicated grower. Go to your nursery. How fire is that?
And what's the ultimate benefit of that?
The ultimate benefit of that is having a good quality product, of having confidence. And what does that do to you guys? You guys listen, they're small, or you've been in business for 10 years and you haven't figured it out. You're like, man, how do I get those clients that they're working on $200,000 jobs? How do I get them? How do I get those customers that pay good, that I don't have to call them 700 times? How do you do that? It starts with what you have to offer as a business. And if you offer top tier quality, that's what you're going to attract. It's the same thing. Okay, you want to hang out and drink booze all day and smoke cigarettes, you're going to attract somebody that does that. Okay, you want to be successful and you're going to mentorships and you're going to all this stuff, what do you think you're going to attract? You're going to fall in that category. It's the same concept, guys. I'm trying to make it, to real world terms, not so plant orientated. You will be so confident in what you have to offer that no more giving people discounts, no more, hey dude, no, sorry dude. My product's fire, it's flying off the shelf, here it is. Let me know if you need it. And that's what it comes down to. So we want to give that to everybody at a fraction. I'm talking about a fraction of what it is, because we're looking out for the best. We're looking out for the better of the whole industry as a whole, and we know that growers are very much needed, and I know how intimidating it is. Trust me, I know how intimidating it is, and I want to see your investments grow. All right? We need more growers, and that's what it is. And you growers that are listening, like, bro, Willie's crazy. Willie is crazy, but I see a different picture than you see, my friend.
No, and you're giving people a tool. And my next question was, are there tools available that can assist nurseries, garden centers, and landscapers in streamlining their spring preparation?
100%. The nursery growers can take care of that.
That's one thing. Is there other things that they could also do?
You can grow whatever you feel like growing.
No, but tools-wise. I'm saying tools, is there, are you on plan yet? Or, other tools. That's what I'm saying, because the nursery growers is a tool. It's growing a better product.
So
you not having to be concerned of what you need to use for the pesticides, what fertilizer you use.
Think about all the legwork that goes into that, guys.
And doing it correctly.
Yeah, 100%. Because you know how many times I've burnt plants, or I've over fertilized, not knowing, or I've put the fertilizer too close to the trunk, and now the plant looks like it has cancer and it's dying.
Yeah.
That has happened a lot. I have lost millions of dollars over my career in learning. And when you look at what this cost, because I can't give you guys a price because it's catered to whatever you need, right? So there's different tiers of it. What this cost versus the loss of you trying to figure it out on your own, it's like, why would you even try to attempt to do that? And then think about all the time that takes to do a spray schedule, know what it is, spray, apply the product. The nursery growers won't apply it, but it's a playbook of instructions, right? So think about what all that does for a grower, giving them time back. A lot of these places are owner operated, or they have a small team, and the owner's very, very, very hands-on and everything, and the guy doesn't have time to breathe. That's the norm. So think about, cost savings on mess-ups, screw-ups, learning the hard way, the school of hard knocks. You eliminate all of that. You get a plant doctor in the house that comes and tailors everything exactly to what you have going on. You have a product, you have a customer, let's just say they're in another state, and they're like, man, I want you to grow 20,000 plants of this caliber, and you can sell them for, I'm going to just throw out a number, $8. So that's 160 grand. But you've never grown that item before. Do you know if it can grow here? Do you know what you need percentage shade? Do you know how much water it takes? Do you know how much fertilizer it needs? Do you know what to feed it for your spray? Do you know what bugs it can get? Do you know all of that? You don't. But so now you lose that opportunity of shining for this person, that he's just going to go to the next guy. You lost that opportunity because there's no confidence there. So when it comes to this, the nursery growers implementing that's another thing, part of the team. So now you got a team to lean on that's their job.
Yeah, no, you have.
You get me? And now you can go after so much more opportunity.
You legit have a senior grower on your team, a person with over 25 years of experience in the industry, and this guy is only going to make you shine.
And I'm not trying to sell this, guys, because to me it doesn't matter if you use it or not at the end of the day, but it is something that I feel will benefit you more than you understand, and it will change your life. I promise you that. And like I said, I'm not trying to sell it. I'm just trying to let you guys know that this exists now. And we want you guys to share.
Yeah, there's a lot of different things. It's whatever you need is catered to you. So if you just need a consultation, if you just need advice on certain things, you literally will have somebody on your team. So it technically just sells itself.
100%.
Yeah,
100%. And then getting into that, to just stick on this topic of things, like right now, things are wild in the world. Should you invest, should you not, which we're going to be doing another video on, should you invest 400K right now. There's a lot of things going on in the world that it's hard to understand, and it's hard for you to have a clear vision on what the game plan is moving forward for you, tailored to you. And we've launched the coaching. And I'm not trying to sell the coaching, but what I'm trying to do is connect with you guys and help you understand where you're at, what you should do or what you could do, and guide you. Be there like a big brother, to love you, to put my arm around you, to let you know that it's going to be okay, and build a game plan that is tailored for you to feel confident, to come out on top, to win, to get the better clients, the whole nine. Just being a better man, maybe being a better father, whatever it may be, because we've dived into all those different topics on the conversations I have with the people that that God has blessed me to be able to speak to. And it's been nothing but amazing, man. It truly is.
It's a coaching and mentoring experience, so it really does, it's another tool to help you elevate your business.
One person, because all that stuff's confidential, but one thing I can say, I got one coaching call with one person, and it saved them 40 grand in Texas. Boom.
It just all depends on what you need. Maybe you're getting experience, you're getting the experience from somebody that's already been through it, so whatever it is, it's pretty much tailored to you, it's advice that'll help you, elevate your business in however possible, or just getting things off your mind that maybe will help you make a better decision.
Yeah, 100%.
That's the key.
There's so much.
Mentoring.
And then everything's for love and for the moving forward.
Okay. Is there any other tools that people should really, if they haven't done so, look into it?
Yeah, so one
as a landscaper, as a garden center, whatever.
So there's a million tools, guys. There's a million ways, and I'm not going to sit here and talk about all of them, but when it comes to advertising, you don't even have to advertise. Some of the people, look guys, some of the people that I know that, like for one guy, has been in the industry for 8 years. He started off renting a 5-acre piece of property. He just bought 10, and then he just bought 5 more. And this is a small guy, I don't even speak English. He purchased 15 acres, okay? He doesn't advertise. He just grows a good product. And he doesn't need a million customers. He just needs 5 good ones that can wipe out everything he has. So it's more about the relationships, and it's what you bring to the table. You got to remember, the first impression means a lot. And if you have a nursery that's ugly, the product's not there, or the inventory's not there, or it's weeded, it looks it's filled with weeds, it's going to be hard to grab what you're looking for, and then you're going to stay with those customers that are always trying to price gouge you and hit you over the head and, looking out for themselves, not looking out for you. And that's something that, man, I detested. I didn't want to know about that. And I tried everything possible to get away from that, and we were able to get away from that. And I don't ever want to go back to that.
And obviously that customer that you're speaking of knows how to cater to his customer. Like, he knows exactly.
He answers the phone.
Yeah,
he knows his inventory.
He
can send a picture.
It's really understanding your customer. Like, really, truly understanding your customer at the end of the day. Yeah. Like, so you can cater to them to the best where they don't even feel like they need to go shop around. Yeah. They comes directly to you. Yeah. You're their number one.
Yeah. So places you can advertise your product, guys, that we've seen that the flow of what people go to really move product, or people that go to buy product, there's 2 big platforms. There's other ones, but these are the 2 main platforms. We got Planet.
Yeah, man, this is like in spring. If you're not ready yet, this is a good place to start.
Yeah, and you can start there. The other one is this book that I have in my hand.
So plan at number 1. Number 2?
Plan at number 1 is Bedrock's Plant Finder. They've been in the industry, if I'm not mistaken, 40 years. All right, guys, they send out this book. You can sign up, plantfinder.com, I believe it is.
I think so.
Plantfinder.com, I don't know, I signed up way too long ago. But here you can pay for it. So the difference between this book and Plant, just so you guys know, Bedrock's Plant Finder does have an app. It's called Plant Search. So the main difference is, if you are a nursery and you're trying to post a product here, you pay for whatever you put in this book, and it shows up online. Okay, so you're paying for it up front. Plant, you list everything, and you pay, only if someone clicks on it. So, which one's more cost effective? You guys make the decision on that, but what's cool about this is you can advertise right here. Planet does it as well on the app and online. So for me, what should you do? Be on both.
But you're directing that towards wholesale nurseries.
I'm directing this towards wholesale nurseries, but you can be like Coastal Roots that we interviewed, right? Or Sunny Blooms that we interviewed. That these are girls that they sell locally and they sell online.
Okay.
You need to know where you're going to get this product. You know, like they should be calling the people that they source plants from for their customers and telling them, hey, how's spring looking? Communications, remember, listen guys, communications. How's your spring looking? Am I going to have plants from my little store? Yes? No? Okay, can I place like some stuff on hold that I can have in the coming months? Yeah, sure, no problem. Guys, pay attention. Pay attention, because it's going to be a shocker. And now let's go to finish this off, because I got to go. Why is this happening? So one, we can start off with the way the world has been.
What is why?
Why is there such a demand? So here's a question I'm going to answer, guys. Why is there so much demand? Now, I want to be real. The demand is not everywhere. The demand is not for every plant that exists. Okay, the demand is for specific categories. One, I feel very strongly, is in the landscape material. So if you're in the landscape material sector, I feel like it's going to be a strong year. I want to see, I'm not going to say also, I want to see what is going to happen for the chain store market, the Canadian market, the New York market, all of that, when it comes to the people that grow for spring, for the Home Depots, the Lowe's and stuff like that. Because that's a market that moves throughout the year, but it goes real strong there. Like their main bread and butter, like we have to hit this Grand Slam, is springtime. So let's see. So why do I think that? So one, if you guys have been looking at the map over the past couple of weeks, last month, everything on the temperature side of the U.S. has been ice blue until you get to the southern part, which it starts to fade into a light blue. And then you get the tip of Florida and a peak tip of Texas. Yeah. Texas is a little yellow, little orange, and then Florida you get that red. What does that mean? So one thing that means is everything is going to most likely burn, unless people take their plants inside. And again, this market is more for the landscaping market, which is more catered to the southern states of the United States. So that's a great indicator that spring is going to be strong. The market that shops here the most when it comes to the Florida market is Texas. Texas comes and devours most of the stuff. These guys have big pockets, the ones that have been doing it for a long time. They don't need to listen to this podcast to know they're not listening to this podcast. They're out here buying. So they're preparing from now, shopping. They've been preparing. They have nurseries grow stuff for them. They're ready for the demand because they know that that's coming. Then you look at what's happening with the transfer of wealth over the past 5 years. The rich have all the money that you guys don't have anymore. All the money we don't have no more, the rich boys got it. So we've said it before on podcasts. How can you tell it to the rich? How can you grab the customers that work for the rich so you can jump on that train? That's where it's at. So I want to jump into something else, but I want to stick to that. So that's another indicator of what it's going to be. And I see it, guys. The market hasn't stopped when it comes to developing, building. The United States as a whole is backed up, I think, 6 million homes still for people that want to buy. And like Miami's super hot. Miami's very expensive. Taxes have gone through the roof. Insurance, forget about that, gone through the roof. So people are moving to Orlando. People are moving to other parts of Florida. That is just going to get populated, of course. And then you want to have if you can't have a nice two brand new cars in the driveway, and have a crappy, ugly landscaping. You haven't finished. You're not there yet. If you want to live that and show that, you have to have a complete lifestyle, and one of that thing is wanting up the neighbor and having a nicer landscape,
Right.
or at least making it look presentable. So that's one thing that helps this industry thrive. A lot more developments in the works for the years to come. The market, if you go and you turn on YouTube, you turn on the news, you turn on all this thing, it's death, the end of the world. I get it, guys. Trust me. I follow all this stuff. Prepper, yes, sir, right here. I understand it all. But for some reason, we're still moving. Okay? So you can't just dwell on that. I feel like that really sinks you into a hole. I know if I start watching that stuff for too long, then that's all I think about, and I'm like nervous for no reason because the business is indicating something else, the market is indicating something else. So your focus needs to be on what you can do to come through for your client. The small details, guys, we've talked about this. The small details. You really need to understand your client base. If your client base is not the clientele you want, what can you do to grasp a better client base? And it's all over the board on what you can do, but you know the customers you have, and it's really looking out for them in the small details and the things that make you stand out. You can have a nursery booming on one corner, and the other corner it's dead. Why? A lot of it has to do with who's in charge,
Right.
and it also has to do with how you look and think about your client. The more love, the more energy, the more details you put into it, the better experience that you give your client. I promise you guys, those little things, it's not going to happen on day one, but if you shift your mindset and you start to implement that in every conversation, not shoving it down somebody's throat, not a sales pitch, just letting it happen, you're going to see in a year or two, that's it. It's game over. It's home run derby.
So for those that are fairly new, or you might be a new listener, or you're just getting into the green industry, when we're referring to spring, when does that usually start?
Yeah, March, April, May is spring. Those are the 3 heaviest months. Spring. So spring is normally a northern market. So like I said, everything gets cold, everything freezes, plants die. So they refresh everything every single year. And that's just the norm. That's in their budgets over there to do it, and that's just how it is. So that's where the demand comes. So we might not have any freezes for a whole year, and then there's no hurricanes, there's no natural disasters, and now the market gets overpopulated with stuff. There's too many growers, or there's too much inventory out there on the street, which makes, you have to be a real good salesman or have real good relationships to be able to move your product. We're not there, man. Right. With what's happening with Mother Nature, it's just different. There's a demand, and the rich keep getting richer, guys, and they want the best of the best, and they want stuff that doesn't exist. And we get calls for things that are wild. They're wild. They want 20-foot films, and they want 400 of them. It's like, oh Lord, where are we gonna get that? It doesn't exist, So it might exist, but you find 5, So there's just a demand for. There's a demand for things. Just think on what you can do to better your client. And if you're a landscaper listening, think about what you can do to stand out. Don't look for a pat on the back. Don't look for a good job. If you're looking for that, you're doing it for the wrong reasons. Keep implementing the details, making every job stand out. Investing in the way of, okay, I'm going to buy a better product. I might not make what I wanted to make, but you know what? This job came out killer, and I'm going to do this and that, and opportunities that are going to come to me are going to flood in because I'm not looking for myself. I'm looking for everybody, looking out, and I want to shine. And I promise you, you do that repeatedly over and over and over, and everything will start to change and change and change. That's what I have seen, and I can't preach that enough. The details, guys. I cannot preach that enough. I really want everyone listening to do nothing but win. And it comes down to being prepared, and it comes down to thinking in your client's shoes and becoming a fearless investor. That's one thing that I see a lot of people lacking. I'm in this seat today because of that. It's more than just discipline. It's more than all of that. Think about how much money you have to make. It's not selling plants. It's not just selling the plants you grow. It's not just being a landscaper. It has a lot more of you putting yourself on the line, looking at money as a tool, and taking chances that are calculated, and just going after all of them. If you lose, who cares? Get up, learn something from the loss, and keep rolling like that. That you need to become a fearless investor. I feel like that's something we can do in the future. If you're in the screen industry and you want to level up, you want to stand out, the podcast 100% is a great way to do so. I've made so many relationships by just letting people listen to what I have to say or my thought process or whatever it is, and you attract other people doing that. So if you want to do something to stand out, you're fearful of, the economy coming and swallowing you up. So you should be on cloud 9 going as hard as you can. And one of those things is a podcast. All right, guys, so thank you so much for tuning into this episode. We're going to continue bringing fire as usual. We have a bunch of things. We've just been slammed doing a bunch of things behind the scene, manifesting all of this, and it's coming in, and we have a lot of stuff going on. From garden centers setting up, to websites, to businesses, to days, to just so much. And it's exciting, guys, but we're still finding time to sit down, bring the fire, educate, bring value, and help you guys grow. That's what we're all about. So if you need us, you already know what to do. You can reach out on Instagram, and you can reach out to us there at the Plant Movement Podcast on Instagram.
Eddie, so thank you for those questions, man. I hope you guys got value from this episode. As always, guys, we love you, and we're going to keep bringing you guys the fire as always. Stay tuned for the next one. You guys already know. God bless you guys. Stay strong, and let's go.
Thank you for listening to this edition of The Plant Movement. Willie and Eddie invite you to connect with them on Instagram at both The Plant Movement Podcast and A's Ornamental Nursery. Those links are in the show description. Please leave us a well-worded 5-star review on Apple Podcasts to help others find the show. And remember to tap the follow button so that you'll be notified when the next edition of The Plant Movement is available.